Good morning from the Hashknife. It's a nice, bright, sunny morning, nice and calm and cool and perfect for moving cows. So a week ago, we put the brands on everybody and vaccinated, took care of separating some herds out so that we could easily, of a morning, now just a couple of us, gather some cows up, move them up a county road, which into this pasture here, and I'm just coming up to set the gates, but we're going to be going down that county road a couple of miles from the main place, and then we'll put them in here, mother these cows up, meaning we're going to make sure the cows and calves get back together. If we don't, these calves will go back to where they last nursed, and so will the cows. So we want to make sure they find each other. There's nothing worse than a cow and a calf standing beside each other and both bawling and can't find each other. It happens. So we got to be patient about that once we're done moving, and we'll take them on down here to the water to do it. Another important point, you got to take these animals to water. You just can't turn them into a pasture and have them depend on themselves to find it. They'll go back for water as well, and they'll go through fences, and they'll go through several fences to get there. So patience. So doing a little prep work, coming down the road, opening that gate into that pasture, and then right across the road is another gate to the neighbor's place, and a lot of farm ground. So I closed that gate, and good fences, good gates, and your cow's not getting on their farm ground kind of helps keep good neighbors. So did those two little small things, a little bit of a prevention. That way we don't have to get anybody up here ahead of these cows by a ways, and make sure that Lisa can open the gate. Sometimes these gates are a little tough for girls that aren't very big, and I throw a fence stretcher in with a vehicle force so she can, or wire stretcher so she can use that to open a gate, but yeah, that's less than optimal. I get that look. Anyway, we're set to go. Gathering time. And we got a lone calf here, of course. I rode out to the corner of the pasture and got some of these girls moving. And then Lisa's going to go with the little cruiser, and then Connie's going to help us out with the four-wheeler. She likes that four-wheeler. Keeps her mobile and active in the search here, but I'm going to push this little calf on with the rest of them, keep them bunched up, and we got a plan because clear over there in that other pasture across the fence is that other group of cows that go to another pasture, so we don't want to alert them too much with that cake and have them come putting a lot of pressure on, and then these cows thinking they need to be with them. That's just the making for a wreck. So here we are, slow but sure and nice and quiet on guess who. That's right, horse with no name. All right, there always seems to be somebody who's a little reluctant or not cooperative, let's put it that way. And she's a snorting and snotting at me here a time or two. Doesn't think that she'd ought to be taken away from her favorite grass spot, and for the moment. There we go. There, we're gonna line out. Lisa's got them all up there like the Pied Piper. And we're gonna head down to that corner of the pasture way over there and out the gate onto the county road. Wow, see, look at her. She thinks she's gonna slip away on me. They're all headed generally in the right direction. We got some of them balled up against the fence. They figured out, oh, we know where we're going. We're going to a fresh pasture. Got some nice flowing spring water through it. This is a good thing. So now that they've got the switch turned on, it's going to be a little hard to hold them back. And so Lisa's going to get the gate open. I'll let these guys gather a little bit, and then she's going to try to hold them back so that they all cross the highway at the same time, which can also be a challenge. Right? Highways, railroad tracks, it can be a lot of fun, especially for calves. They don't like stepping over lines, and different kind of terrain go from gravel to grass or grass to gravel, then gravel to asphalt. They've never seen that stuff and they're a little leery of it. Well, I've got Connie and Lisa on a special mission here. Lisa's holding everybody at the gate. They want to go, and Connie had to bring in a cow that was trying to slip back. So she's going to go ahead of Lisa, and we've got to cross the highway up here, and I'm going to have her go so they don't slip up the road to the south. They can go into this neighbor's place here, and then it's a real pain to get them out of their yard and all that. So she's going to slip up there and hold them so that they'll go straight to the west up the county road. Lisa's going to try to hold them back a little bit with a bucket of grain, and then I'm going to see if I can't get them to line out behind. That's usually the easier job, but none of this is easy when there's just a couple of us. There we go. There's the gate. She got it open, so she probably won't cuss me too much. I've got them usually pretty tight. A little too tight, honestly, but we'll not tell her that. It's just between us. There we go. Easing right out there. Come on, girls. Come on, cow. And they're all settled down nice. Should be nice and quiet. Come on, girls. Atta girls. There you go. You can go 3/4 at a time through that gate. You're good. Take these wascally little wabbits with you. Come on, calf. Turn around. And this is a problem. A lot of times these calves will hang up, just like they're doing here, and then they can't find their way through a 16 or 20-foot gate. Come on, kid. Here's our little heifer, our little twin we grafted. You're looking good there, sweetheart. Yeah, I know. Got no help for you here. Your new mama's up there. Come on, kid. Come on. Nice and easy. We can get them into a corner here and out the gate. That's always better. It's almost impossible to get these guys through a gate in the middle of a fence. And those are only for convenience, not for working cattle through. There you go. Follow those cows, little ones. Let's go. Let's go. No, not that direction. Come on. Always got to be somebody. Come on, kids. Let's go. Hip, 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 hip. Come on. Yeah, grass is better right through a fence, you dork. Come on. Hip, 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 hip. There he goes. Nice and quiet. There you go. Come on, cow. Turn it around. Take the calf with you. There we go. Follow the right direction. Nose going forward. Come on. Hip, hip, hip. Come on, kid. Stay away from that fence. Don't need you going through it. Causing another delay in what we need to do. Come on. And you see this, anytime they come out of one grass and into another, all of a sudden that's the tastiest stuff they've ever had in their lives. They love that. Okay, come on, kids. Yeah, we'll push them down there. Get them down the road to the highway. We really like to have them kind of held up and bunched up, because that way if you get the first ones moving across the pavement, the other ones will likely follow, because they're just following right behind a cow. By the time they're realizing they're on something different, they're already on it, and they'll just continue to follow. Oh, kids, there we go. Come on. Come on, cow. Let's go, cow. Take them with you. And we got them going about the right speed for now. Most of them are across. Now we got to get these calves. Come on, calf. Come on, kids. Come on, kids. Follow mama. Or follow anybody's mama. Let's go. Come on, kids. Hip, hip, hip. Come on, kids. Come on, kids. Let's go. Hip. There we go. Come on, kid. See that white line? All of a sudden. Calf spooked at the white line. Sound of the hooves spooking made my horse spook. This is how the Roman Empire was lost. All for a wad of a nail and a horseshoe. It's an old story. Come on, kid. Let's go. Hip, 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 hip. There we go. Good kids. Let's go. Let's go. Hip, right on up the road. Highway crossing's almost a non-event. That's perfect. Come on, kids. Let's go. Let's move. Let's move. Hip, 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 hip. There we go. Come on, kid. That's a boy. Come on, cow. Come on, cow. Yeah, you notice I'm kind of hanging back a little bit. They're strung out. Some of those cows are really wanting to go, but they're going to leave a bunch of these calves behind with some of these other cows that are not so anxious or haven't been here before. But I'm getting the time of day where I'm feeling a little heat on my back. It's probably only about, it's probably 65 degrees, which is nice and cool compared to, but these are small calves, you know, some of them are only, 3 weeks old or so. Others are a couple months, but you don't want to heat stress them. So the slower you move these cows, the better off you are for them. When we were gathering, I was putting more pressure on them to get them to move and line out. And now I can back that off a little and not be quite as, oh man, the shade of that tree feels even better than I thought it was going to. Anyway, keeping them nice and slow so they don't get heat stressed, overexerted is really important. Oh, and there's Lisa asking me questions. That's something we never had before, was radios. When I was a kid, walkie-talkies were about as good as you could do, but you might as well look each other in the eye with those old things. These are a little bit better, and we've got some little tiny ones that we use about the size of the palm of your hand. I can stick in my shirt pocket, and it's a lot easier to coordinate. Yeah, see, she's up there almost, good half a mile ahead of me, and they're just trying to slow some of these cows down, because when it comes to green grass, cows have forgotten that they've got calves. Who? I don't have a baby. I've got green grass to chase. So we'll get these guys up here. She's going to kind of hold them there along the fence line, and then we're going to take them to water. Notice how some of these calves are talking a lot. So I got to start putting a little bit more pressure on them, kind of keep them moving forward. They got too much time on their hands, too much to think about, and they think their mama's back there where they last nursed. So you can sure have a wreck as some of these calves turn. Yeah, listen to them, see? No, you don't need to look back. Look forward. There's nothing back there. She's up here. And we're almost there, another couple 100 yards. And we'll have everybody up to the gate and move them onto water. But it's really important to keep these guys, keep them headed forward, because if a calf gets back, then they're determined. It's really tough to stop them, and especially you get one going, then a couple more go, and it's like herding bumblebees. There's not a lot you can do easily. You can get it stopped, but man, it can cause a lot of problems. So you want to watch their behavior, be a little bit more proactive about when to push, and keep them going. You can see that some of those cows are already way up there. Some of them went over the bank. There's just a big old draw there that you can't see. It causes some relief that it's pretty open, and that's where all that water is coming out of one of the springs on this section here. And so the ones that have been here and really like that water, they're a little smarter ones. They're already up there, and you can see some of them maybe starting to drop down over the hill, but that's all the further we need to take them for the day, and then hopefully keep them together and let these cows find their calves. They're going to be more interested in eating fresh grass, different grass, and these calves are interested in going back because that's where they know their mother is, unless they're already paired up. Like that pair right there, he doesn't get very far from his mama. The looks of him, he's a little roly-poly. I like that. We need them to all be roly-polies. Now I just kind of hold these cows up. I've gotten ahead of them here on this little spring. You got some water running here. It's looking pretty good. It's not much, but this is a lower producing spring, but the terrain is really good for mothering up cows and calves. So I use it. They'll sit on this, hit this fresh grass that's in the bottom here, and then we can let these cows and calves mother up, and as they do, we can turn them loose until it's the old process of elimination till you got everybody mothered up. Here's a pair here. That's where these here tags really come in handy. You can see who's who and who belongs to who, and I like the old days, way old days, where they just didn't care, and if it made it, it made it. Brought it in the end of the year and sold it, but we kind of want to keep track of what we got going here and make sure that they stay together. That's not a pair. That cow right there and that calf are not a pair, so I got to kind of hold them up till she finds a calf, and I think that's her calf. Maybe right there. Let's see. I believe it is. Good eyesight from a distance helps, but let's see what this little calf looks like. Yellow 70. Yep, that's a pair, so they can go if they want. I like that. And it's just a matter of slowing them up, sitting here with them. There's a pair right there. I know that cow, 36, and her calf right there. Yep. So if you don't do this, the calves will go back, and they'll usually go back first. When these cows finally get a belly full and their bag starts hurting because they haven't nursed, then they'll try to go find their calves. And usually the calves can get through fences and the cows can't. And it is a wreck. Don't ask me how I know.
Attempting to get the kids to mother up. Always a fun endeavor if they're not inclined. Today the girls want to eat and ignore the babies.
Here's the spring coming out of the tank there. We're looking good. And that's combined with the spring coming up out of the base of the hill there. Not bad at all. So we got some decent flow. Enough that makes a dog happy. Yeah.